What's happening? What's happening?
What do we got in
It-
the chat here? We got the source. We got finding joy on this journey. We've got Mary Turner, who's a new member. Thank you. Friends
Awesome,
of
Mary.
Fishy. We've got Grant Henderson. I think a new name. Not sure if we've seen him before. We've got PR Fishing Journal. He's a regular around here. We've got Ash. We've got Crazy Life 99 was here a half hour early. I don't know if he's still here. Wait, what's Emmykin's taking back? Anyway, we've got Chaosgoat in the building, in the
That's
flesh,
right.
here for the interview. To chum it up with your boy Fishy. What's up,
Let's
Chaosgoat?
do
How
it.
you feeling, man?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Yeah.
Were you on the water today?
Yeah, I was this morning. Yep. Me and my buddy Pat, my grandma's neighbor, we were out on a private lake not too far from my house.
You score, you catch anything? Hey, B Driven, hey, Frenchie, Rude Mountains, woo!
Yeah, we
All
both
right,
caught two large. We both caught two largemouth. We were going for bass and pike. There's a
nice.
lot of nice fish in that lake. It's only like a 30-acre lake, but it's like a deep hole. It's like 80 to 90 feet deep.
Dang. You ever
But
you ever go up there at night and drop down for some cats in that hole?
no, I haven't. I don't know if there's cats in there. There's not walleye in there either.
Hmm.
It's just yeah, I don't think there's cats in there.
There's got to be
Luca's
some kind
in here.
of there with an 80-foot hole.
Yeah, there could be. There's big pike in there. I don't think I've caught more big pike than I have small pike on that lake.
Nice, nice. All right. So if I look at your channel, your description says, "Welcome. I am Chaos Goat. I hail from the woods of Minnesota. My main interests are fishing and extreme underground metal. Just looking to bring you along with me. Feel free to email me at chaosgoatfishing@gmail.com. You have 606 subscribers. You've
Yep.
made 45 videos, and you've got over 65,000 views. It's pretty good. That's pretty good, man.
Thanks.
If I remember, you first came into my chat, what, like 3, 4 months ago, and you didn't
I
even
don't.
have 50 subs yet?
It was. I think it was like really early on when you started streaming. Like I
Yeah.
think I was in some of your first lives or whatever.
So,
And
like 5 months ago, maybe?
yeah, because I started posting shorts in October. Like I'm pretty sure I ran into you like on Cindy's channel or somewhere, and then I started following you that way. And then, but between you and Cindy and like your channel was the one where I ended up getting like to 50 subs, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. I remember telling everyone, "Hey, everyone, get Chaos, go to 50
Yep.
subs so that we can go live." So that's
And it
pretty
took a
cool, man.
while. It took a while. I
Yeah,
mean, it
yeah.
was months and months after that because
Well,
I
you
didn't
had
start
gotten
going.
50 subs, but then you were kind of patiently waiting to go
Yep.
live, right? Which
Yep.
I did the same thing.
Well,
You know, I didn't start going live until this spring. Is when I
yep.
first went.
And
So,
I
and
think I was right there in your first lives then, if that's the
yeah,
case. Yeah.
definitely, definitely. Yeah, prior to spring, I had never gone live.
Hmm.
So, yeah, and it's kind of. I think you did the same thing I did. You went to a lot of other lives and observed how people did it, and
Yep.
then kind of went from there.
And I was waiting for a fishing opener. I mean,
Well, yeah,
I could have
yeah,
went fishing for cats and carp, but that's just not something. That's not a world I know. That's not the fishing I've ever like gone and done before, and I'm not familiar with it. So, um, I was just waiting for fishing opener at that point, which was May 10th, and that's when I did my first live.
right on, man. I dig it. So yeah, we kind of already went into it, but like, give us kind of the whole picture, like how this all started, as far as you being a YouTube fisherman. Like, when did you first think you wanted to do it? When did you start getting into it? How did it come about? How did you get from not having a YouTube channel per se? Because I can see you've had the channel since
Yeah, I've had
2015.
this channel, and I've been on YouTube since dang near the beginning. Like
Right.
but I've always just been an observer, never really commented much on anything until like I found this heavy metal community, and then I found a place in there, and so that's when I started becoming more and more active in like a YouTube community per se. And then but as far as like the fishing thing goes, like I ran into Cindy's live just scrolling shorts or whatever, just scrolling, and I was just really intrigued. Like I was like, yeah, there you go. Yeah, right there. And so I mean, yeah, I was like intrigued. I'm like, these guys are just fishing, having a good time. It's like what me and my buddies do when we go fish, and it just
Right.
even by myself, I'm just thinking like I could do this, like what why not? So I mean, her channel was the first one I came across, and that really got the gears turning to it kind of lit the spark in me.
Okay. And so the spark. So watching Cindy's channel, you thought I
Yep.
could do this.
Yeah, just like why not? And I've had the thought for years, to start a YouTube channel like fishing and stuff, but you know, I I've said it before, we've all said it's like we're our own worst enemies at times, like who's going to want to watch me, who's going to want, who's going to find me interesting and stuff like that. And so I kind of talked myself out of it for years, and then I just started seeing people more and more and hanging out in lives, and then you're seeing other channels because you only need to hang around there for a little bit, and she mods you up, and
Right.
you're checking out all these other channels and connecting, and then yeah, it was like October when I started posting my first shorts.
Right on. Right on, man. Were your first shorts fishing shorts? Let me look at your
Yeah,
shorts.
they're everything is all fishing.
Okay. So we're talking October of 2024 is when you started posting your first
Yep.
short.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's interesting. Same timeline then. So my very first anything I ever posted on YouTube was actually October 30th of 2024.
Okay.
Wow, so that's pretty interesting. And Chaosgoat's my neighbor. If you guys don't know, he lives
Yep.
over
We're
there.
neighbors.
Yeah.
I love
Sometimes
my
I'll go
neighbors of the
like
east.
I need a cup of sugar, and he's like, "Go to bed." Um. All right. So we talked about your YouTube journey, and so what's it felt like? How did you feel when you first started, versus how do you feel now at this current point? Like you're over 500 subs. You got to be knocking on the door, getting your watch hours, and possibly getting monetized now. So how do you
Yep.
feel now? How you felt then?
I mean, it's kind of gone by. It's just like flying by. It's like I'm really blown away and shocked by like all the support, and like I mean, to me, I would say I'm doing pretty good and success. Like I mean, you could have told me when I first started posting shorts, like you're gonna go live, and in a month you're gonna get over 200 subscribers, and I would have been like, yeah, okay, that's funny, and
Right.
so I mean, it's just flown, and I'm just blown away. Like I would have never expected, but I hang out in all these channels, and I'm friendly with people, and everybody's just super kind and supportive, and it really made it easy to like get into it. I mean,
Right on. Shout out to the fishing community. It is a
yeah,
great community.
absolutely. There's a lot of great people here. There's so many incredible people in this community.
Yeah,
It's amazing. I mean, the people that keep showing up and coming back, you see new people that start hanging around more, and then you see a lot of familiar names and from all
thank
the
you,
other
Crappy
channels.
Man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, Crappy
Member,
Man,
new
Turner.
member of the Fishy Friends. Appreciate you, man. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Just got to shout out the new member real
No,
quick.
you're good. You're good. No.
All right, so a lot of these questions I already actually know the answer to, but I'm going to ask them to you, not only for the people in here, but for people who may watch this in the future.
Yep.
This is kind of a getting to know you deal. So, where are you located at, and what main types of bodies of water do you fish?
So I'm in Minnesota, aka Minnesota. I coined that too. That was me. That was all me. I coined that. I came up with that one day. I'm like, dude, that's amazing. How didn't I think of this sooner? It just like clicked to me. I'm like, Minnesota, yes. So yeah, I'm in Minnesota. I'm outside of Duluth. I was born in Duluth. Um, and I mainly fish like lakes and rivers. I don't go out on the big lake. She scares me. I mean, maybe someday I'll get out there, but
What's the
uh,
big lake? What's the name of it?
Lake Superior.
Lake Superior. Yep.
She's a beast. I mean,
Second largest lake on planet Earth.
yep, exactly.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I went there once. I fished it. I didn't catch anything, but I'm gonna get on her some more someday. You
Yeah,
know,
I mean, I probably will too. I probably will too. But it's just,
it's weird
it's
to
a
be a lifelong fisherman and live right next to one of the largest lakes on Earth and then not
mhm.
fish it. You know
And
what I
then
mean?
not fish. I mean, I'll get out there, but
Like, what's wrong with me?
you got to know what you're doing and know where you're going too. So you need people to help you out with that. I mean,
Right,
I'd be clueless on where. I mean, sure you could fish the shore and stuff, but like to really get out there, you need to know what you're doing and
right.
where to go.
100%, man. 100%. All right, so you fish kind of the local
Yep.
smaller lakes and rivers in
I mean,
your
Minnesota, there's lakes everywhere. There's lakes and
yes,
rivers. I mean, just
it's
within
called the land of 10,000
10,000.
lakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's a lot of people from different areas of the United States. Like Minnesota's the dream. Like if I wanted to
Hmm.
book a vacation for fishing, I'm going to Minnesota. You know what I mean?
Yep. And if I mean, the Boundary Waters is like an untouched, pristine. Like I haven't fished there, but I've been in that area.
Hmm.
Uh, I'd go there as a kid and stuff. I'd never fished there, but like I will someday. And if you just look up the Boundary Waters, it's like pure untouched nature. You can't, it's canoeing and kayaking only. Like there's no like like you're portaging, and the fishing is phenomenal. I mean, it's incredible up there.
Nice. And
But
so, what types of fish do you mainly target then?
so me, I mainly target northern pike and largemouth bass because around here, like if you're targeting pike, you're gonna catch bass, and if you're
Mhm.
targeting bass with like a spinner bait or something, you're gonna be catching pike. You're targeting both at the same time. So those are
Right.
those are my two favorites to go for, just because like around here, other than musky and sturgeon, I guess, like there's really no bigger fish, than like it's northern get the biggest other than musky and sturgeon and stuff like that. Oh, cats too, I suppose. But as far as like, I mean, they're just aggressive too.
Yeah.
They're the
Yeah.
predator. They're
100%.
pretty much the apex predators of the water. So
Yeah.
that's what I like about them.
Fair enough. And what would you say is like your go-to setup for targeting pike and bass?
So I use just like my main. So I'll either use like I have a medium rod, a medium heavy, and a medium light, and spinning reels. I haven't gotten into bait casters yet. We've talked about that, and
Yeah.
I don't have it in me to try it. Maybe
Yeah.
someday. I'm talking to a buddy who wants to help me learn, and I'm
I've
like,
got a
oh,
feeling it's pressuring me, and it's never gonna happen.
just just be prepared. Don't get mad at me when you got to replace the whole line or whatever. But I'm willing to give it a shot. But yeah, I use spinning reels, and um, as far as lures go, my go-to is the spinner bait. Whether it's a big
You
one, like
talking
the
the dual
smallest, I'll
blade?
use. What's that?
Are you talking like the dual blade with like the two spinners on it, or are you talking like a single spinner? You know what I
Oh,
mean?
it's like the one. It's got the skirt, like the little rubber skirt, and like it's either got.
Kind of like a V, and then it's got
Yep,
almost like two
exactly.
spoons, like
Yep.
fin on the one
So,
side, and then the hook and the skirt on the other.
yep. And the
Yep.
smallest I usually use is like a 3/8 ounce, and then I've been using 3/4 ounces too. And that
Okay.
one, those ones usually have like a trailer hook. So there's like the normal hook, and then there's like a little rubber snubber or something with another hook attached to it, for
Okay.
just because it's such a big bait.
Right. And then
But
what
yeah, that's
do you have a color preference, or does it depend on weather, season? What's your
for,
deal there?
I mean, it's pretty much like so Strike King makes the bleeding spinner bait, and
Mhm.
it's white. It's mainly white, but then there's some red tassels in there too,
Okay.
and that's been my go-to for uh, a long time now.
Seasons?
Yeah, pretty much. And then I'll use it's mainly white and red, and then I use one and it's white with like black speckles in it and stuff. And
Okay.
those are like my main go-tos. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I catch
Right.
fish on them, and I don't
I
know.
hear you. I hear you. Awesome, dude. All right. What is the biggest fish you've ever caught?
So the biggest fish I've ever caught is a 36-inch northern pike. Um, I'm still chasing 40 plus. You know, I'm still waiting to hook into one of those. But yeah, my lengthwise, it's a 36-inch. Um, I mean, it's hard to say because I caught a 35.5-inch pike on my grandma's little small lake, like a little 10-acre lake.
Right.
And you know, I'm like you. I don't weigh my fish. I just measure them. But that one felt heavier and looked a little chunkier
Right.
than my PB. And you know, it's only shy by a half inch. So, I mean, I'll
Right.
never know. But that's just my. You know, I
Yeah.
held a lot of northern.
Around on that. I might get a scale. I might have to get a scale and start weighing them because it's just
It's.
I don't know. I feel like
I
I'm
know.
there as far as the YouTube. I'm feeling the pressure, and I'm like,
I
I was gonna
know.
stick with my inches, and now I'm like, I think I want to know the weight. You
Yeah,
know,
I'm
It-
kind of getting the same way too. But it's just, you know, it's for me like before. I mean, now with the YouTube thing, you know, it's kind of cool to know and to let people know, and you know.
right.
But before, when I was just by myself and stuff, it's just, you know, get a measurement, you know, throw it back in the water, and just one less step. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear you. That's the other thing, especially once you start YouTube fishing, like the amount of stuff you got to bring and set up,
hmm
and
oh yeah,
it adds more layers to it all, and it's
and
a lot.
you
It's
start
a lot.
learning. You learn
Yeah,
fast what you need and
yeah,
what you know.
for
For
sure.
me, it's like finding a good tripod at the beginning, you know, and then now that I got my kayak, like, you know, I got a little tripod now, and I ended up getting a Starlink because the service is so spotty on lakes. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
I mean, it's money I didn't want to spend, but at the same time, um, it's people will actually be able to see, you know, like otherwise it's just going to be buffering, and no one's going to want to hang out and watch it. I mean, you can't really
yeah.
watch it.
If the quality's bad, like it doesn't matter how much I love you, I'm not gonna watch it. Like I'm not gonna watch a
Exactly.
blurry screen, you know.
Yep.
Um,
Exactly.
so yeah, and it's interesting that a lot of serious fishermen know about like scouting for spots, right? So like
Yep.
when you're a YouTube fisherman, there's a new level to scouting too. Like you're not just scouting like spots for fishing and its potential for catching fish. Now you're scouting it for, can I also go live here? What's the
Yep.
reception here? You know what I mean? So there's
Exactly.
so many more levels to it once you do it on YouTube. It's wild.
For sure.
Um,
Yeah. And I figured that out quick too. It's like, you know, your stream's buffering and you can't tell on your end unless it actually, you know, is like doing the reconnecting thing. But you can't
yeah,
tell what your service looks like other than looking at the bars on your phone. But then that's fluctuating all the time sometimes too. So
yeah.
it's hard to get a good read and know exactly what's working and what's not.
Yep. So that yeah, you got to scout it good, and then even once it's been scouted, it's a bit of trial and error. Like, does the spot actually work good when I try to go live here? You know what I mean?
hmm
So I imagine a lot of the more successful people they've had to put the time in to figure out where they can and can't
Absolutely.
actually live. And so yeah,
Yeah,
there's
not
that.
only does it, you know, and are there fish there? I mean, yeah, if there's water, there's you got a good chance for fish, but
Right.
there's spots that are just good, and there's spots that, you know, where fish just go by. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of thought that goes into it, and everyone's got different thoughts and opinions on everything. You
Yep.
know. Do you have like a dream fish, like one you haven't caught yet that you would love to catch someday?
I mean, yeah, I'd probably have to say musky and a
Yeah,
sturgeon would be really cool to catch too. I mean,
we'll get you
there's
on one. I got you. I got you.
that would be awesome. That would be super cool because, but yeah, a muskie would be cool. It's just that's a whole nother beast in itself. You know, like you need big, heavy gear. You need, you know, uh, I mean,
You do.
you do and you don't. But the guys that do target, you know, I mean, if you hook into a big one, if you don't have like right set, I mean, if you got a tiny set, you're gonna be fighting that thing forever. And I mean, which would be rewarding either way. I would love to hook into one. It hasn't happened yet, but I haven't ever like gone out to like target
Target.
them either. You know, I've been on lakes where they're in there, and but I've never gone out like, all right, we're gonna go try and catch a muskie.
I think muskies might be the biggest heartbreaker fish there is because I had three on this spring and lost
Mm-hmm.
all three of them, and I was like,
Yep,
I mean, not to toot my own, I'm a pretty good fisherman. You
you
know what I
are
mean?
absolutely
But
no, 100%, dude, hundred
just
percent.
and each time I got those muskie like to where I could see them perfectly, like
Yep,
they were like a foot from shore, and then I saw them get off the hook, and I'm just like, oh, oh.
yep,
And then
they're escape
those are
artists.
the ones I actually had on the line. You can spend days, weeks, months going out and targeting muskie and get nothing, nothing, nothing.
Nothing,
You might
yeah.
even see them in the water. You
Yep.
might see them look at your lure and get
And then
no
they're
reaction.
gone. They're
Just
gone,
like
and you'll never. Yeah, you won't see it again.
they are the heartbreaker fish for sure.
Yep.
That's why I don't fish them a lot because I get tired of getting my heart broke. But
Yeah,
every
yeah, and
once
I'm
in a while
like the
you get
same way
one,
too.
and then it's like it's a heck of a moment when it is one of the things that makes it even more rewarding. Like fish like that, and I think flathead are in that same category, not as bad as muskie, but flathead and muskie are both fish that like you have to put a lot of time and effort, and there's no guarantee you're gonna get them. You know what I mean?
Yep,
When you do
exactly.
get 'em, it's incredibly rewarding. It's
Yep,
like you
and I could
really
see that.
accomplished
Yep, because you
something.
put the time in and everything. Yeah,
I mean,
and then
on
when you
top of
finally,
that, they're both really big fish that put up a great fight. But beyond that, the amount of effort you had to put in to get one of those fish makes it that much more rewarding, you know?
yep, for sure.
Um, but yeah, I tell you, this September, let's I'll get you on some sturgeon. I mean, I can get you on a sturgeon anytime you want. It's just in September we can legally go after
Yeah,
them.
yep.
So that's the deal there.
No, that would be awesome. I would love to catch a
I
sturgeon.
got,
Like,
I got you, neighbor.
hell yeah.
Uh, did we already ask what your favorite fish that you ever caught was?
I, it's northern pike for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
hooking into it. I mean, I still, like I said, I'm still trying to get a 40 plus incher, but
Right.
you know, even something over 30 is really fun to just to, you know, when you land it. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it's a big fish. A 30 plus inch fish is a big fish.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you remember, or if you don't, what was the farthest back you can remember catching a fish? Like, what was your first memory of fishing and catching a fish? Can you walk us through
Well,
that?
I honestly don't remember if I was younger, and you know, I could have been really young and caught a fit. My parents probably remind me better than me.
Right.
But really what got me into fishing was I'm I met my best friend in high school, and he had a cabin on a lake south of me. And you know, once we became best friends, I was going to his cabin. And I think I remember like one time, like we were out there, and because I wasn't into fishing as a kid or a teenager. I don't know why it didn't click for me. I
Mhm.
didn't think it was cool or something, you know, like whatever my mindset was, I just wasn't into it. And
Yeah.
then I remember going to my buddy's cabin, and he was fishing, and I think maybe one time I didn't fish, and then we were out there the next time, and I'm like, all right, give me one of those rods, you know, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if I caught a northern or a bass first, but that's just what got me hooked. Like just fishing with him and hanging out with him, and Uh, so yeah, I honestly don't remember the first fish I've ever caught.
Okay, so now when you do catch fish, what's can you describe that feeling or the best you can to describe the feeling of like catching a fish?
It's just like
I
an
mean,
adrenaline. It's an
before you caught a bunch of fish, but like those first few fish that you caught, what was
yeah,
that?
it's like a rush. You hook. Especially when it's new to you. You're like, I got a fish. It's like you're super excited and uh, yeah, it's just. I mean, it's total excitement. Like, and from there, it's like my drug of choice now. Is
Right?
catching fish.
Right.
It's just
Absolutely.
a little adrenaline rush.
That's really interesting. So most people, it usually starts in childhood. I'm really glad you're the first guest now that like really didn't start fishing till they were an adult. I think that's really cool.
Yep.
And
Yeah, I was like
I think
17 or
it's a
18
different
when I first
perspective
started.
on it.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Very cool. Thank you. Let's see here. All right, we're moving on to the next section. So, do you have any fishing superstitions?
No, I don't really have any fishing superstitions. It's usually just me getting my stuff ready, and no, I don't really have any superstitions as far as like
There's
uh,
nothing you ever feel like, oh, that's going to give me bad luck, or this feels like it's good luck,
no,
or
and that's well, I guess maybe I only use like the same couple spinner baits, so I mean,
okay,
I,
you just
but I don't
a
know if
lot
that's
of
a
things in a
superstition or
specific.
it's like I said, if it's always worked for me. Like I don't want to toot my own horn either, but there's very few times I get skunked when I go. I usually always catch something.
Right on.
So it's like I stick to what I know and what I've known and just
Is
keep
there any
trying to
sort of
repeat it.
ritual to that? You were talking about your routine and getting ready and stuff. Is there any sort of
No,
ritual?
no, it's
No.
just, getting my stuff ready, like, no, not really. Just
Okay.
listening to my music and, uh, yeah, I don't know. It's not
Fair
much to
enough.
it for me.
Do you have any unbelievable, crazy, or funny fishing stories?
I was like thinking about this because, I've watched quite
Yeah,
a few of
that's
these interviews now and I was trying to think and I couldn't really think of anything. There was one time I was on my buddy's cabin, the one I was telling you about, and uh, this isn't the story, but I had caught like a northern with like a big old tumor like on its head, and like I pulled it up and I just see this big. I don't know. It was disgusting. It was like a gross mass on the thing, and I'm like, that was kind of weird, but it actually just happened to me the other day. I was out fishing by myself
yeah.
on my buddy's private lake, and um, I hooked into this northern and I'm pulling it up and it's in a bunch of weeds. So I get it up to my kayak and I grab it by its scruff, just the back of the head. The weeds
Hmm.
fall off, the fish dives back down. I get it back up and I net it and I see my lure in the net. I'm like, okay, it just popped out when I was netting it. That happens a lot. And that's
Yeah.
why it's nice to net northern, but it's hard to just flip them into the boat. But
Right.
anyways, I get the northern out of the net, and I realize that after like it got out of the weeds and dove back down, somehow the lure popped out of its mouth, but my steel leader wrapped around the top of its mouth and caught its teeth.
Oh
And then
wow.
yeah, so my leader saved me
No
there.
hook in
Like
the mouth. You just
no hook in the mouth. Yeah, so I got it out, and I'm like, that's never happened to me before.
I've
I've
never
never
heard
caught
that
a
before, but
fish.
I say we call it a rodeo now. You lassoed it. You
Yeah, I
lassoed it with your
lassoed. Yeah,
leader.
that's right.
That's a new term. We just made it up. Lassoing a northern.
That's
Brought to you
right.
by Costco. That's cool, man.
That's funny. It was crazy. I mean, that's never happened to me before. And because this was one of the questions I was really thinking about. I'm like, I don't really have any crazy fishing stories that I can think of. And then just the other day that happened, like literally like less than a
Nice.
week ago.
It's meant to be. Meant to be. That North, it was just like he's gonna go on Fishy. We gotta give him something.
Yep.
Here we go.
And it was a nice northern too. It was just like a hair shy at 26 inches, and it
Oh, nice.
was healthy too. It's probably
Right.
bigger than your average 26 incher. Every
Sure.
every fish in that lake seems to be bigger than the average like weight of the length. Because I've got one of those Northland measuring sticks, and it tells you like for the length, like the average weight that it would be. So you have a rough idea. But it was healthy, so that was cool.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah, I might have to come to Minnesota and have you take me northern fishing. I mean, I catch them,
Yep.
but
Well,
I
you
don't
guys
catch
get
them
yeah,
with
you
the
get
numbers that you do. You know what I mean? But I don't
yep.
really target them either. So I
Yeah,
caught. I don't know
that's
if
just
you
it
saw.
too.
I caught one on corn. Believe it or not, did you see that?
I didn't see that, but I've always said like you could put some hooks on a boot and you can catch a northern. Like they'll hit anything. It's just a matter if they're there and
I couldn't believe I was just carp fishing for one of my lives, and I just
yep.
had some corn sitting on a hook in the water, and fish on. I'm assuming it's a carp, and I was like, "This is fighting weird. This isn't fighting like a
Yeah.
carp." And then uh, northern kind of tire quicker than carp, like
Yep.
so like the fight was
They
gone
do
as
because they
they're
fight
built for
hard and
speed.
then
They're
they
built for
do give up.
stamina.
Yeah.
But so I was like, what the, and I got it. I was like, this is a northern what? And so my first thought was, I snagged it, right? Like it was swimming
Yep.
by and it caught the hook, right? And
Yep.
I looked, and I mean the hook is in its
Yep.
mouth.
They
And
went
it's,
for
it
it.
doesn't
Yeah.
look like stick. I'm like, he hit this northern ate corn, and they got sharp dog teeth, right? So I'm like,
Yeah.
they're supposed to eat meat. Like, why would he be
Hmm.
eating corn? But I don't know. It
He
happened.
just must have been wanting a snack or something and
Right,
just
right.
saw something he
It was
thought he
the
could eat.
vegan. It was the vegan pike, man. Vegan pike. I caught the vegan pike.
Yeah.
He was trying to make a statement. All right, what do we got here? Do you have any? Do you now, or have you ever had any pet fish? You into aquariums or anything?
Eat. Yeah, when I was younger, probably in my like late teens, early 20s, me and my wife just had like just the Walmart fish, and that was really it. And one of my siblings growing up had a pet goldfish, but it wasn't really mine. I mean, I guess it was kind of all of ours, but my one sibling was into it the most.
So you never really got into like having pet fish, just
No, not
you know,
really. Yeah.
catching really.
Well, and like I said, it's something I got into kind of later, like 17, 18 years old, like getting into fit. Like that's when it all started for me.
All right, I think we've got some questions in the chat, so we're going to unleash this to the chat for a little bit. MVP right away came in with, "Do you have any buffalo carp in your past?" I don't think Chaos is a big carp
No,
fisher.
I've never
MVP.
got it. Yeah, so I just got into um, northern and bass fishing with my buddy, and that was kind of a way for us to just an extra form of bonding because we bonded over snowboarding mainly. Um, he's a very good snowboarder and skateboarder, and I tried skateboarding. I can ride one, but he can do like flip tricks and all those. He could beat a lot of people in a game of skate. I never got that good at it, but no. So yeah, I never got. I've never fished for carp. Um, I fished for catfish my first time last year, and I went once and I caught a 9 pounder channel cat. So
Oh,
that
that's a
was
good
cool.
cat.
Yeah.
That's a
Hmm.
really good cat,
It
man.
was it was fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it makes me want to do it again. Like that's cool. But yeah,
Yeah, man.
I've never caught a buffalo carp or a common carp. I've never caught a carp before.
Um, JR Buds asked, "What motivates you to keep going?"
It's just what fishing is. Just what I love to do. It's my favorite hobby. Just being out on the water. I've always loved just being out on the water. Like even when I wasn't a fisherman, there's so many lakes up here, so many beautiful lakes. Like it's just kind of like a way of life. Like when you're growing up and you're on someone's pontoon or just going on a boat ride. Like I just love being out on the water, and I mean that's pretty much motivates me, and to keep catching fish. I just love catching fish.
Northern, we already asked that at the top of the show, but the answer was,
A
shoot,
36 inch,
yeah,
36-inch northern pike.
yep.
Still
Did I miss
chasing the
more
40.
questions here? We're opening the
Michael,
just to chat if anyone's got any questions. Michael had one.
yeah, he says he asked if I ever
Sure.
fished the Red River. No, I have not.
Do you have any
MVP
more
says
questions?
catfish
Sorry,
and
go ahead.
carp are similar, just less stinky bait.
Yeah, yeah. What made you start doing YouTube? Uh, we covered that at the beginning again, but if you want to go over it again, go for it.
Yeah, I just I was scrolling. The first live I came across was Cindy's, and I just started getting more involved in the community just by hanging out there. I'd see her live, and it's like, oh, cool. Then I start commenting and hanging around, and then you start, that's when you start finding all these other channels, because everybody we're kind of all in the same circle here,
Yeah. I guess
and
a good follow up question for this would
I,
be like,
I see a crappy man.
what do you think?
Why haven't I
Right?
got the email so my spinner baits can get smashed by a pike? I'll send you one tonight, dude. I'll
There
send
you
you
have.
one tonight. I need some half-ounce spinner baits made up. So I'll send you an email tonight.
Because it sounds to me like your answer is just like, I saw it and I thought I could do this,
Yep.
but
That's
why? Why do you want to do it?
uh well, I mean, my memory is not the greatest, so like it's cool to go and like have all these, all these trips that I'm going on now, like,
Right.
and so I can go back and look on it, and it was kind of another way for me to just push myself too. Like, I've never been comfortable being on camera or putting myself out there. And it was just a way for me to kind of push myself out of my comfort zone.
Okay.
And I see everybody else, all these other people doing it. It's like, all right, maybe I can do this.
Fair enough. Edward Limbaum says, why a kayak? And then we'll get to Drill's question after you answer that.
Why a kayak? I don't know. I just like, you can get into a lot of places with a kayak, and it's not as big and inexpensive as like a big boat. I guess with the kayak I bought, I can't really. I probably could have found like an old boat, like probably for the same price, but I don't know. I just like the kayak.
Right on. Fair
There
enough.
wasn't really much thought into it. It's just I did kind of get into kayak fishing at my buddy's place. My buddy's mom has like all these kayaks, and I was just looking for places to fish. I don't have a boat or nothing, so I'd go out there. She's like, yep, take the kayak out whenever you want, like. So that's kind of where I started getting into kayak fishing. I just go take her kayak out and fish around their lake, and it's a lot easier than, you can get to a lot more spots in a kayak than you can just bank fishing. So
Yeah. Yeah. You can get to spots in a kayak that you can't get to with a regular boat too.
yeah, exactly.
There's one lake I've got my eye on that I would need a kayak to do, but
Yes.
we'll see how. And that leads me into Drill and Chill's question. What's the next piece of equipment you got your eye on?
Honestly, nothing right now. Because I got this kayak, and it comes with a trolling motor, and I got the Starlink, so I can pretty much go on any lake that I want to and stream live from there until I find a lake that doesn't, where I can't. But we'll get to that when we get there. And I just bought a truck because I've only had a car, and me and my wife have a van, and I thought about putting a hitch on the van, but it ties up the van. I'd be switching car seats or have to get, new car seats, and it just ties up the van. So I actually bought a truck from Pat, my grandma's neighbor, my good buddy, my good fishing buddy now. So I mean, right now I don't have my eye on anything as far as like my next piece of equipment,
Maybe
other
not
than
have.
maybe
Is there something that you don't have that you might like to have?
well maybe a setup for cat like a heavier duty rod or something for cat fishing or something like that, something to handle a big fish.
Excuse me, it's a sports van.
It's a sports van. Yeah. That was the only way to sell her into it. She never wanted a van. She held off forever. But
All right, so
we outgrew her little Ford Escape pretty quick with two kids. Like no room in that thing.
yeah. Do you have any shout outs you want to do tonight? Any
Uh,
other channels you want to promote? Anything
wanna
like
wanna how do you power your Starlink on your kayak? Can you describe the setup? How much run? That's a really good question. I'm still looking. I guess that's another thing I could look into as far as equipment. It's just I've been so busy. I have something that works, so it's like I haven't had much time to look into it. But so I run it off of it's a little Milwaukee like power pack, and you just run it off of drill batteries. And I've
nice?
got three batteries. Each one lasts around like an hour and a half or so. Sometimes they like run longer. Like it's roughly about an hour and a half. So I get like 4.5 hours of like power to my Starlink for that. So yeah,
Sorry,
it just runs off a little battery pack, little drill batteries basically.
that's pretty cool, man. Oh, and then you can just load up. You probably put a bunch of battery packs in your tackle
Yep.
box or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, I just
That's
got a
awesome.
backpack that I carry my Starlink in, and then the batteries are in there with the power pack, and
Don't you ever get nervous, like if your kayak tips, all your stuff, like your phone and everything's gonna go bad?
Yeah, I've had that thought, but that kayak is so stable. Like you would
Okay.
have to like purposely, like someone would either have to fly up next to you into a boat, and even then, I don't even think you would tip. Like you would have to like purposely like flip the thing. It's that stable. I can stand up and fish off of it, uh, just fine. I mean, you'll get a little rocky, but I mean, you have to try and tip that thing.
Gotcha.
So I mean, it's always a thought, because water and expensive things is like it's
Yeah,
it's
I get
always in the
nervous.
back of your mind, like phones
I'm
and
always
yeah,
nervous about the boat that I'm gonna like hit that stand and the phone's gonna go flying in the water.
yep.
But
Hmm.
it's
Well, I've dropped my phone plenty of times just in the last couple of streams. I just got a little tripod that I try and fit in there's these little grooves like where my trolling motor is, but I've been using whopper ploppers here and there, and so
no,
I'll
I bet.
like to get a better view, I'll set it like towards the front of the kayak. And then sometimes if I throttle too hard, the phone will just like tip back. I've done that
Oh
so
no.
many times. Luckily, every time it's just gone straight back. It's never gone like over. Or it just always wants to go straight back.
Gary.
Yeah.
The risks we take as YouTube
Yep.
fishermen.
Oh, exactly. Yep. Yeah. Edward says, been there with the phone ice fishing. Yeah. That's you're not the only one, Edward. So don't feel. I've never done it, but I know people who have lost phones, vehicles. My cousin's. I think he's had two vehicles fall through the ice before.
Do you have the names of any channels of people that you think would either like to do my show or that you would like to see on my show, chumming it up with Fishy?
I mean, honestly, the first two that come to mind are like Andrew Stay Fishy Redmond and Sky Blue. But I know you talk with Blue and stuff, and I think it would be really cool to see those guys on there.
All right, I'll reach out to Stay Fishy Redmond, and I'm sure I'm going to get Blue on here someday.
Yeah, I think you will. I think you will
I
eventually too.
kind of ask him, and he'll probably be like, "Heck yeah!" And then we'll schedule a date.
Yeah.
I've been basically, I've been kind of sitting back and waiting for the people that are real adamantly want to be on the show and send
Yep.
me a message on my email. I haven't really had to go after many people yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see here. And then you got some shout outs you want to do? I know we talked, there's a couple bands you want to promote.
Well,
Emmykins.
yeah, a couple YouTube channels. My buddy Francisco of Jamming Out All Badass, otherwise known as Joaba. I've been in that community for a couple years now, and everybody there is super cool. Francisco has always been, I mean, he's supported me since day one with this thing. You know, I told him I was doing it, and he's like, you know, that's awesome. And I've got to meet him in person, and it's a real cool community. If you're into like underground heavy metal like me, I mean, he'll play some hardcore punk and just hardcore, and it's
Thank you.
basically like a radio show, and he'll take requests and stuff. So, and then the Witching Hour, Lord Necron, he kind of does the same thing. They're buddies, and you know, I've got to meet both those guys. So yeah, uh, Necron at the Witching Hour is it's another good one. It's same type of deal, just different guys, and a lot of the same people are there.
I think I know Emmykins, I believe, had them programmed in. We should have their channels popping out pretty soon here, I think. She might be sounds like my kid is going crazy upstairs, so she might be.
Gotcha. Yep. Yep. I know how that goes. Not with a 16-year-old, but
Okay. Well, she's yeah, my daughter's autistic, so she's an extra challenging 16-year-old.
yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, and another shout out to Francisco is I've been on his show a couple times, and you know, it helped me get a little bit more comfortable with going live. And honestly, I've always been more nervous to go on his show and do something like this than when I did my first live. Like I was really comfortable, and it probably helped that I was fishing. You know, it's something. It's kind of like my comfort zone. You know, so it was really easy to just turn on the camera and go.
Heck yeah, man. So we let you guys in on a little secret. Me and Chaosgoat, we're talking. We've got an idea. We're thinking about trying to organize, and I don't know about the name, but I think it's a pretty good name right now. The Midwest Fish Fest, right? So we're
Hmm.
thinking maybe uh, August, maybe possibly. We are looking at possibly in Dubuque, which is like on the Iowa Wisconsin border, but it's like kitty corner to Minnesota and Illinois. And we want to try and get a bunch of YouTube fishermen from wherever, probably the Midwest because it's
The
like a central.
Midwest, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
if people want to travel for it, yeah, but
wherever you want to travel from. So if
not
anyone's
expecting.
interested in that, start sending us emails. Let us know you're interested, and we might organize like getting a bunch of YouTubers together and fishing on the Mississippi River. And I'm thinking Dubuque, Iowa is probably the spot to do it because it's a real central point. Um, and I know, Cass, I believe you said you've even got like big chunk of land, like an hour or something like that from there that possibly.
No, I'm quite a bit a ways away from there.
Oh, never mind, my
Yeah,
bad. But
yeah,
yeah,
because I like
that's
even
what
from
we
the. I
got.
mean,
If
from
you guys
I'm
are
probably
interested.
yeah, I'm probably like I don't know, 4 or 5 hours away from the Iowa Minnesota border.
Oh, okay. I see.
Hmm.
I don't know why I thought you were much closer than that. I think I'd named the wrong town the
Yeah,
first time.
you were kind of. I think you were mixing up Dubuque and Duluth.
Yeah.
I'm really close to Duluth, but yeah. But no, if I could make it happen, I definitely will. We'll have to try and like brainstorm on some dates and stuff, and see what people were saying, or you know what people are thinking. Drill and chill. I just want to say, Cass was one of my first to give me a super chat, and for that I thank you. It felt pretty good. Thank you. You're welcome, man. No, Drill, you got an awesome channel. So, you know, I like supporting people that I think are cool, and I like seeing everybody out there doing their thing. You know, because we all have our own like little niche. You know, in fishing. You know, we all like fishing for what we like to fish for, and I just
Nope.
like seeing everybody, going out there doing their thing. So
What else I got here? Has anyone else got any more questions for him? Oh, one of the questions that gets asked, like, you got a go-to fishing snack?
not really. Like I don't get really hungry when I when I'm out there. Like it's like my mind and body just like tells me, it's uh I guess I've brought like peanuts and stuff out before, but honestly, I don't get really hungry. I usually just go home and uh, eat after, or if I know I'm gonna be out a long time and I haven't like eaten anything, I'll try and snack on something before. But there's no real go-to snack or anything.
And I did want to say, Drill and Chill has been one of my favorite people to collab with. We've gone fishing together a handful of times now, and he is just as cool in person as he is in his lives. He's
He definitely seems like it.
chill,
I mean, I definitely get
awesome
that.
dude, super nice, super fun to fish with, man. I've really enjoyed collabing with Drill, and I'm sure we will do many more collabs in the future.
Yep.
He's
Luca
got
asked fishing drink, water, or if I'm not driving, if I'm with my buddy and I'm not driving, then it's water and beer.
there you go. JR Buds wants to know how long you've been growing your goat out for.
I don't know. Honestly, a long time. Like, my facial hair just stays like this. It just, uh, I can't grow a big beard or anything, but, it just stays like this. It's not even connected or anything. People like ask if I trim. I don't touch it. I don't do nothing. Yeah, grain belt's good. Do like me some grain belt. But I love grain belt, but spotted cow I love even more. And that's
Oh,
a
here's the
Wisconsin
classic.
only thing.
It's a classic drill and chill question. This one's a mind shaker right here. If you could fish with anybody,
Oh,
dead
this
or alive, who would it be? Where would you go? This is
this is
like money and time don't exist, right?
yeah.
Definitely. You could pick anybody. It doesn't even have to be a fisherman. You know what I mean? Like anyone, anywhere, anytime. What are we doing?
I don't know if anybody said this yet, but it'd probably have to be Jesus. You could
Oh,
hook me up on some fish and then get me some drinks, turn the water into wine and have a good time.
the yeah, you're right, JR Buds. Drill and chills question. The You're right. I'm gonna put it down. It's gonna be one of my official questions.
Yeah, that should be. I mean, I thought about it, and it's like I don't know. There's a lot of people I'd like to fish with, but I just thought that was a funny one.
Yeah. No, I mean you can't go wrong with JC, man.
Yeah.
And so I believe we dropped Jabai One's channel and we
Yep.
dropped Lord Neck
Jalaba.
channel, The Witching Hour.
Yep. And then
That's it, man. I'm all out of questions.
shout out
That's
to
it.
Begrime Exemius, my buddies from Edmonton, the death metal band
Oh yes,
from
that's right.
Edmonton. Yep. They're good buddies of mine, and they're super cool. They've toured and came to Minnesota a couple times, and I got to meet them and hang out with them, and I stay in touch with them.
Barbie,
They're super.
Pixar, it didn't happen. Post it up.
Yeah. I'll. Yeah, Mom, you should find an old picture, and I'll text it to Fishy,
Just
because
post
I
it in
don't
the
know if.
community post.
Yeah, I could do that too. I could do that too.
Show everybody what you look like in the time machine.
Yep. A
Drill and Chill said
question.
if you could have a superpower, any superpower, what would it be?
Ah, I don't know. I don't think about this stuff. I don't. I don't think about this kind of stuff. I mean, if being able to fly would be pretty cool. That'd be pretty sweet.
Heck yeah. Galaxy Gale says, who is your favorite outdoor
Oh, don't make
YouTuber?
me. Don't make me pick. Don't make me pick favorites.
Right?
I gotta go
Set
with
them
fishy.
up.
I gotta go with fishy things.
Fishy.
I gotta go. Fishy helped me get to my first 50. I mean, Cindy helped too, and a couple others, but I got my first 50 because
All
of
right,
you.
don't rank them, but just give us like your top 5.
Oh, I'm terrible at the thing
We
is I
shouldn't do
can't even pick favorite
this.
bands because they change all the time. Um, but I don't know. I like Skipjack's. I like Skipjack Cindy. I like you. I like Stay Fishy, Sky Blue, JR Buds, Anything is Possible, NJ Maniac, MVP,
No,
Precedence Kayak. There's so many of great channels out there.
right on, man. Right.
I
Yeah.
have
I
that's a big problem
love
I
them.
have is picking
There are too
favorites.
many. Like I cannot keep up. There are so
Hmm.
many that I love. Like I cannot keep up with everyone. It's so hard. It's
It
so
is.
hard. Like,
And especially
but
when you're going live and stuff, I figure that out quick. It's like I don't have nearly as much time to stop and support and hang out like I used to when I wasn't doing this. Ontario, come on, man.
yeah, no. Don't be like that, man.
I love Outfish Ontario. There's too
Yeah,
many of you guys.
there really is. There really is. On the plus side, though, it's
It's
like
not too many. There's not too many.
there's you're always able to watch somebody fish. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
That's
Anytime,
what's
anywhere,
great about
like
it.
there's someone fishing out there, and I can watch. If I can't be on the water, I'm gonna watch someone else who is. You know,
Exactly. Yeah, I watch more people fishing than I watch anything else really.
same.
So
Like like I used to play video games, and I don't have time for that. I don't have time to play a video game anymore.
it's time
You
consuming. Yeah,
know?
I love video games and I try to play when I can, but uh yeah, it's tough. It's tough to find the time to do all this stuff and go live and try and support everybody, and I just do my best. Like everybody out there, whose channel I've been in, if I haven't been in there in a while, just know that, I still respect you and want to support you. It's tough to find the time to do it all the time.
Yeah. And it's there's sort of like it's not just like, oh, I want to support this specific person. It also has to fall into a time that I can support them. You know what I mean? So it's like
100%. Yeah.
you support
Some
this person, but they're when they go fishing, you just don't have that time
Yet
available.
you're not available to do it.
Doing
Yeah.
whatever, you know. So yeah, yeah, I understand completely.
A Galaxy Gal, that's a good question. If you had to travel, where would you want to go? She wants to go to Italy. Her grandma was full-blooded Italian. I have the same kind of story, but different country. I'd love to go to Finland. My grandparents were 100% Finnish. My dad's 100% Finnish, and his a lot of his family immigrated from Finland to here. So I'd love to go out there, and I'd love to go out there and fish, catch into a big pike out there. So yeah, I have a similar story to that.
Yeah,
I'd love to go to Finland. Japan would be cool too.
yeah.
But I mean,
I'm
I got to
gonna catch someone else. Pretty cool.
if I go over, see, is Finland's got to be the first place. I'm very proud of my heritage and where I come from. My grandparents came over here and worked hard get where get where they were at, and it's just kind of respecting them and carrying on the tradition of honoring them. Honoring your roots.
100%. Yeah, actually, well, I'm not even that eager to like leave the United States because there's still so many places and so many fish in the United States that I want to catch. Like,
Yeah, for sure. That
there's two really big dream fish that I want to get done eventually. I want to go to Texas on the Trinity River and catch one of those giant alligator gar. That
Oh,
would be
yep.
super
Those
fun.
things are insane. Yeah, that would be super cool.
And then I want to go out west and catch some of those white sturgeon.
White sturgeon, yeah.
Yeah.
Hurting for
The
sturgeon
lake
even
fish that
offered,
can get here are just like a couple 100 pounds, but those ones can get like 500 to a
dude.
1,000 pounds.
I
So
know. I've seen videos of. It's like how do you even hook into that? It's like they're they're monster. They're literal monsters, you know.
Like I'm like, don't get me wrong, I get it. The ocean has like the biggest fish on the planet, but like
Yep.
it's really big freshwater fish. There's crazy big
Yeah.
freshwater fish.
And there's
I
so
don't
like
I don't
with the
need you guys to be able
diversity
to engage in that.
with the diversity of the United States too, you know, there's so many different types of landscape and geography. Like
You know.
there's so much great fishing in the States, you know.
Oh, thank you, Galaxy. Sorry, that was me being weird and blushing. Anyway, back to professionalism here.
It's not sunburn.
No, we do have an hour on the clock, and I'm all out of questions. So we're kind of on borrowed time. I'm not making a stop, but
Yeah,
it's pretty much. Does the chat have any more questions or?
yeah, any comments, questions, whatever.
Oh, is there bells ringing? Wait, what?
Is there bells ringing?
Fish on!
Fish on. Come on, fish.
Well, this has been great, Chaos. I really appreciate you doing the interview.
Well, thank
You from now on will be a blue wrench in my live chat. That's
awesome.
how I've decided to sort of award the wrenches now. Is whoever
Yeah.
does
Come on
interview
and
gets a wrench now.
yep.
We'll see how that goes because the whole wrench thing has been weird. Like obviously for a long time I was just giving them to everyone that I knew, and then it just turned into like hundreds and hundreds of people having wrenches, and then anytime anything goes wrong, something weird happens. It's like I have
Who is yeah, what happened? Yeah, what's going on? It's really hard to keep track of, like, and
at least
I like the idea of it because that's what helped me out. You know, you started out doing that, and then Cindy and Bob, like a lot of those channels, Skeeter.
Mhm. And
It's a
I
great way to. It's,
like having a wrench, because you can just click channels.
yeah,
Like
it's
you need
easy.
that. You should be able to, if not just automatically be able to click channels and go check them out. Like that should
Yeah,
just be standard. Like you shouldn't need anything special for that.
I agree. I agree.
If they don't want to go that route, they should have like some type of like wrench or whatever you can give to people where they can do that function without
Yep.
being able to ban and time people
Yep.
out and all that other stuff. You know what I mean?
100%.
That's the real reason I want to give it out. That's the real reason I want to have it. You know
Yep.
what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. That's something YouTube needs to get sorted out. But until then, I'm gonna do a thing where everyone that I've interviewed gets a wrench in my chat. And so if you see someone blue in my chat, they've been interviewed by Fishy Things.
Yep.
That's how we're gonna do it.
Yeah, and I just want to say thank you for having me on. Thank you for helping me get started with all of this. Like, it's just been a whirlwind for me. Like I said, it's incredible to me. I mean, every day is just a complete, like, it's awesome. Every time I go live, it's like that was so much fun. You know.
Yeah. Thank you so much, man. You've been a great supporter, a great friend, great channel. You've been entertaining, fun, all around great guy. I've enjoyed having you on. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
And
Thanks for having me.
I think we're
Thanks,
gonna call
chat.
it that.
Goats
Unless
in the chat. Goats in the chat.
I do have 30 people in the chat. I'm getting some killer watch hours right now.
Yep. Exactly.
Make sure you guys are subscribed to Chaosgoat too. If you're not subscribed to
Yeah. Make
Chaos,
sure you're subscribed.
you know.
Sub up to the
And,
goat.
and hit that like. We'll give you guys a chance. If anyone hasn't yet, double tap the screen, like the live. I don't know if
Yep.
you heard it, but Fishy likes it when you like the live. You know.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. No, it's so cool to just be a part of this community, and yeah, I mean it like I said, it just blows me away every time, like that everybody comes out to support each other and when they can, I've never expected anybody to show up, like,
Yeah,
so
it's fun.
it means a lot to me.
That's what I've been saying ever since I started going live. It's let's grow together. You know what I mean? You
Yep.
support me, I
100%.
support you. We can all support each other, and it's great, man. We're all growing together.
Then it
Every
works. It
yeah,
works too. Yeah, we can grow together. It's not just something we say, like we grow together.
100%. 100%. All right, I guess we're gonna go out on a high note. We're gonna leave
Yes.
30 people in the live.
Yep.
Y'all take care.
Take care, everybody. Cheers. Later.